Stationery Limited, your number one supplier of quality office essentials, equipment, and furniture at affordable prices, is introduced an online store for your shopping convenience. This means you can now shop by simply logging into kingdomstoreonline.com without physically coming to any of our branches. It's hassle-free and will arrange delivery to your homes and office within a reasonable time. We offer free delivery within Accra and Tema and accept payment via Momo across all networks. Terms and conditions apply at Kingdom. Quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
And when creating memories with those you love, dining at your favorite spot or ordering your favorite meal online, make it MasterCard. When streaming an album or watching an artist at an unforgettable live show, make it MasterCard. When doing your usual supermarket run or your weekly visit at the barbers or salon, make that switch to MasterCard with all your payments. The safe and convenient way to pay. MasterCard.
And Equity Health Insurance's Ebusia Health Plan provides comprehensive and competitive health packages to individuals, families, and small groups. And our packages are specially designed to ensure value for money and to meet the health needs of all subscribers. Our plans offer generous healthcare financing options to people of all ages, as well as competitive pricing and excellent customer service. Equity Health Insurance also provides corporate organizations with flexible plans. Call us today and subscribe to a plan on 0506 326604 or 0506 607 910 or 0501 515124.
Now, are you an accomplished leader or an emerging leader and desire to see great leadership on the continent? Then join Live to Lead conference for a full-day leadership event on Friday, October 7. Live to Lead is organized by the John Maxwell Company, live from Atlanta, Georgia, and simulcast around the globe. Theme is Leading with Integrity for the Common Good and is delivered by world-class speakers. Speaking this year are John C. Maxwell, world-acclaimed #1 leadership expert and best-selling author. Also Patrick Acquah, President, Ashesi University. Patricia Obonai, CEO Vodafone Ghana. Uncle Ebo White, renowned playwright. Gwyneth Addo, CEO of the Hair Center. Kathleen Addy of the NCCE, and other international speakers. A whole lot more will be on that list Friday, October 7, 2022. The venue, it will be a virtual, or it will be virtual on Leader Pass platform. So it will be a virtual exercise on Leader Pass platform. Rates is 799 Ghana cedis. Call 054 666 5826 or 0244 012 450 or visit livetoleadghana.com for more information. Partners: Goldfields, Joy FM, Village of Hope, Global Share Alliance, EcoBank, Stanbic Bank, KPMG, Hollad, APSA, and UBA. Live to Lead is brought to you in Ghana by CTL Africa, Yaupebi Team, and SJA Consult.
Great. So, what are we? Very important question. And I'm sure for most of you men, you may have been asked that question before. Or maybe the women, you may have asked someone, a man, that question. Esinam Batali has joined us. Good morning, Esinam.
Good morning. How are you? I'm good. And good morning to all our listeners.
Okay. Mamavi is still here. Clearly, she's asked that question before. Right, Mamavi?
What are we?
Yes.
Is Raymond interested in my answer?
Raymond is interested in your answer.
I think I have before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Raymond, you've been asked that question before?
Yeah.
When we come back.
Have you been asked that question before?
Yes. We'll talk about it.
he's saying. We are pencils in the hands of the creator. What do you mean, what are we? How do you get to that stage in your relationship before you now ask what we are? Instead of understanding what you should be expecting from the relationship before you even start anything, there should be an understanding. You guys should have had a conversation on the nature of the relationship. So if you have to ask what are we, you've lost any power you could have had in the relationship.
As in, you ask all those questions at the beginning of the relationship?
No. You know what to expect at the beginning of the relationship. You have a conversation of what this is. Okay, this that we're entering. This is the situation that we are entering. No feelings attached. No, we're just having fun. Or I'm looking forward to a relationship, but I think I need some time and I need some space to get there. You know, this is what you should expect. You know, manage your expectations going into the relationship and not having gone so far as being invested with your feelings without knowing exactly what you're putting your feelings into.
I have a question. Hi, Esinam. Hi.
Hi, Kojo.
I have a question. Do women know from the moment they meet a man what they want?
Yes.
How, based on what information?
In my experience, in the people that I've interacted with, 9 out of 10 women know what they want when they see a guy.
When they see him.
The moment you see the guy and the guy approaches you and expresses interest, you know what you want.
They have the CV.
Oh yes. You scan. It's like a meter. You just scan the person. Okay, looks like he has a good job. Looks like he speaks well. Looks like he's my spec. Okay, he meets 5 out of 6 of my checklist.
Okay.
Right? So I am going to be with him. Or I think that there's a future of us being together.
Okay.
You know? So you estimate what you would want from the relationship. Also, through your own lens, you want to weigh how ready you are. Okay, I think that I'm ready. If you are self-aware, you'd know that, okay, I'm ready.
That's stuff you already know before you meet him.
Before you meet him.
All right.
So it's like...
But the minute you meet him, you're able to do a scan and you know what you want from him.
Yes.
Do you think men are the same?
No.
So men don't know from the beginning what they want?
I don't... No, the question you asked... I thought you meant all men as the...
No. I mean, do you... okay. That's what you heard.
Yeah.
No. I'm asking, do you think men have the same process? When they meet a woman, do you think they know from seeing her, from the sight of her, they know what they want from her?
I can't be sure.
You guys should be telling us.
You should be telling me.
I'm interested in what women think, because there is a certain expectation. When a woman meets you, she can look at you and tell whether you meet her desires or her needs, because some of those things are obvious, right? They are obvious, like how you are dressed can be a signal of how well-to-do you are. You know, whether or not you're wearing a ring can be a signal of whether you are available or not. Some of these things are obvious, right? But the things that a man wants from a future partner are not always obvious.
They are not obvious?
They are not always obvious. So, for example, if you ask an average man, what do you want in a wife? He'll tell you, I want someone who is a good mother. I want someone who can cook. I want someone who... They'll give you this funny list of things that are their spec.
It can be seen on the face.
But
which you cannot see
on face value.
Yet it is our same society that says that men are moved by what they see.
Exactly.
So what are they seeing?
Good question.
But
it looks like when a man sees you, the only question that they can answer accurately on sight is whether or not they are sexually attracted to you.
Right.
Because that is obvious. Okay.
Is that what you...
What's the answer to the question?
This is radio, Winston. We can't have silence.
It depends on the time of the approach.
Okay.
So if you knew somebody over a long period of time and approached her, it may not be you being sexually attracted to her.
But you already know the person.
So if I know you...
So you're not now approaching her.
So if I know you already, I mean, I've been friends with, not knowing the biblical way, I've been friends with you over a period of time. And I'm approaching you now for a relationship. It could be that I've seen certain things in you that I like. But if I saw you today and saw you tomorrow and I walked up to you, you can reasonably conclude that I'm sexually attracted to you. Yeah.
So that's not a serious approach.
No, it's not that it's not a serious approach. I think that it means that what a man wants from a woman evolves as they get to know the woman more and more. So if you are asking a man, what are we? The time you ask is important. If you ask at a time when they've only just met you, then they will feel pressure to say what you want to hear, because maybe you have scanned them and discovered that they are your spec.
Right.
So the man might be tempted to tell you what you want to hear, just so that he can move from stage 1 to stage 2. Because all he
or
can
buy time.
Yes, while he makes up his mind.
No, but for example, if there are 15 men after you, and I'm part
Please
of the
increase
queue,
the number.
let's say 400. Yes, and I'm part of the team. I don't think that clearly telling you in the face that I'm not sure. I frankly don't know what we are, because I really think that I like you, but I need to know more about you. I'm now seeking to check off a list in my head, which will require more time and more engagement. For example, what do you think about utilitarianism?
What? You
If
ask such a
yes.
question in a relationship?
Why not?
not?
What are your views on the capitation grant? All right, listen, guys, let's very quickly hear what the average man or woman on the street thinks about this question, and then we'll come back and talk some more. Check this out. Listen.
Wow.
This is what they said to us yesterday.
We normally ask
Raymond,
such
Acquah.
questions to know our stance in a relationship. Some men are in a relationship just for sexual satisfaction. Whilst he's in a relationship with you, he has eyes for someone else or another woman who he really wants to marry. So we ladies normally ask such questions to know what our man has for us or what he is planning for us, whether he wants us as a life partner in the future or not.
So there's a fundamental cultural understanding that it is a man that comes to ask for your hand in marriage. And so anything or whatever process leads to marriage is definitely going to be skewed in through that ideology or understanding. So the lady would in turn look to the guy to set things straight, because if you are the one who's gonna ask for my hand in marriage, that's in Ghanaian terms, then definitely you should be the one to say that you're interested in me or not. So if we start going out on dates and it seems like things are not set clear, lady will want to know, Charlie, your ID inside.
And we need to ask the question so that we can define the boundaries of the relationship. Until the question is asked, you don't know where you stand. You don't know your position, whether you're a side chick or the main chick or whatever the person wants to do with you. So once you know and you ask the question, then you define your boundaries. Okay, I am the girlfriend, so I will do so and so. I am the side chick, I won't do so and so. So of course, women need to ask the question. Well, culture plays a part. Mentality also counts, but for us in Ghana, well, the culture wins. We are not the ones that go chasing. They come chasing, and so they should tell us which boundaries or which positions we should occupy.
I don't think it's just the man's responsibility to direct the relationship. There are two people in there, and it can't work if the two people don't agree. So, in my opinion, if the man decides to pretend, that's his problem, but ideally it shouldn't be so. Two people are in their relationship. One person cannot be directing it. So I think that, well, I don't know for the other women that solely want to push the responsibility on the man, but I think that two people direct the relationship. It depends on how he started. If he came straight to you that, hey, I like you, I want to be in a relationship with you, that's straightforward. If he didn't come like that and you go ahead with it, then it means both of you are really unsettled about what you are doing. For me, it won't happen like that. If you want a relationship, you just straightforward, so we know where we are headed from the start.
Some interesting views there. So okay. So if we are settling on the fact that women tend to know from the start what they want, and men tend to evolve their desire as
Everybody
they get to know
evolves,
you.
Kojo.
Yes, but men do not know from the start. I think that's what we're trying to say.
No,
So if
that's also not entirely true.
I think you should take it from the men. And until you have the opportunity to be one, maybe you should take it from the men. Because
But I also know that the men will say anything to get away with the
No,
things
Kojo,
they-
I mean, I said that.
what's there to get away from? What is there to get
Because-
away from?
So in this case, the explanations I'm hearing are saying that, okay, in order to get what we want in the interim, we'll be dishonest. We will paint a picture of wanting a relationship just so that we can get the chance to be physically intimate with you, and then when we're done, we evolve. We now begin to evolve to know what we actually want in the relationship.
I think- no, not
Let
at
me
all.
explain this way. So, for example, you meet a woman, right? When you met the woman, you like the way she looks. She has short hair. It's curly. And then she has other prominent features that you may also be interested in. And she's fair. So 100%.
Raymond, autobiographical. Go on.
So no, to be fair, you have actually picked that kind of woman. And if she doesn't meet that description, you'll not talk to her in the first place. But at that point, you are not sure whether this is the mother of your children. You're not sure that you can make all of the other important decisions. But are you going to tell her that I'm not sure whether you are likely to be the mother of my children? When Winston and Acquah are lurking in the corner, the first thing you do is to be able to isolate, get her interest, then proceed to deliver the other test. So that if you are sure that all of the other things you want are met, it can be done. So, for example, I want to know whether she emphasizes or de-emphasizes money. That would not be so obvious by merely meeting you first time or speaking to you within a week. Because why? Some men have a skill of not even asking you anything within 1 week. Some too, they can ask you immediately. But hope you get what I'm trying to say. So you can see out immediately at that point.
So Ray,
it's not deceiving you. It's just picking your interest to a level that I can project it from there. Because
Why
if
don't
I'm
you
to
then-
make lifelong commitments, and I'm supposed to be truthful.
So then why don't you explicitly say that? Okay,
At the
this
party
stage
now, go for
okay,
line it up.
you meet the person at the party. Obviously, you're having a good time. You're having a conversation. You are talking. That's not the stage where the woman is likely to ask, "What are we?"
so
That's
'cause
not
I
the
think that-
stage, because the woman is also not asking you, "What are we?" at the beginning. Things should have happened.
Thank you.
Time should have passed before she will end up asking you, "What are we?" So in the whole time that was passing, you still didn't think that you needed to have an honest conversation on expectations.
Oh no, to be fair, when you
Expectations, like,
graduate from,
okay, this is what I'm
You see-
expecting
you
from
see
this
know what
relationship. This is
starting.
where I am.
So-
I'm mentally not ready. I'm not in the headspace. I think I'm still
No,
evaluating you.
nobody will accept mentally not ready. What does that mean?
But
So-
Raymond, we
so-
think the same way. The way you analyze it,
Yeah.
I think it works both ways.
Oh really?
Okay,
Because
so
we
But I
also-
thought
So
she
imagine-
said that women can see
So
on face
imagine
value
this.
all that they want.
Imagine this.
Not all.
You are getting to know each other. You've met this nice guy. He meets all your spec from day one. So you are in for relationship. He too, he has met you. You are physically attractive to him. So you've started interacting, getting to know each other. You are talking. You have a moment of intimacy at some point during this process. And following that, you are now thinking, hey, this thing is going far. Let me ask, baby, what are we? And then he says to you, well, I'm evaluating you. I'm trying to figure out whether you are, the kind of person I would like to have a long-term relationship with. You, dear, you knew from day one. Oh.
But you didn't have the conversation. That's the problem.
Yes, because you can't have that conversation on day one.
But I
Yeah, let me-
disagree
let
with
me-
us
So-
knowing
so-
from day one everything about the guy.
That's
that we
Esinam-
make
that's
Let me say
Esinam's
something
claim.
here.
Didn't say
Esinam,
everything.
Esinam,
But of course, there are some
the-
things I'll discover that I realize later on
see,
that I don't like.
Esinam, the point you make. Let's take it to the reality. You can actually decide that I am going in for a fling. You start and you get stuck.
Yeah,
Then you
yeah.
catch feelings.
Now the man knew your original position. You now want a relationship. You hang on. A lot of men won't drive you away. They will also continue with you. As you move on, you probably may begin to think, maybe he's beginning to feel like I'm feeling. And the man may also be playing along. After all, you do a lot of things for him for free. He likes it. So sometimes the question is not just because you do not know what you want, but you actually have gotten to a level where your previous expectations have changed.
Good.
And so now you want to find out. But you see, the man that you're also expecting, and I can say that for a lot of men, it is difficult for a man to change his mind about you. Okay? So for a man who starts with, I am going to have fun, it would take something drastic to change his mind. So you are now beginning to love this man. And then you go in and ask, so what are we?
That's why I'm saying that the question
We are
in there is
choosing
wrong.
But I'm saying
So
that
the
it is
question you
not,
ask
it is not wrong
It's
because
a right question.
it's not
It's
wrong
a good
because
question.
no, it is not
It's
wrong
not
because
what are we.
you cannot always.
I think that what I initially thought we would be has changed, and
Yes.
I think I want more.
You want to test the man's mind. It's the beginning
But,
of the
but that's
conversation.
ask a question.
But
You
I
tell
think
what
we
you are
all accept
feeling
that that's
rather
not
than
how
what are
women
we.
ask it. Women
Yeah.
will ask, "What are we?"
But
What
that's
are
what
we?
I'm saying. That's
And
where
it's
the problem
beginning-
is.
And it's hold on, Esinam, it's the beginning of the conversation.
Yeah.
The what are we? When you say, okay, yeah.
You know,
It's
that's why
it's epistemic ambivalence.
that's why I said that.
So she's seeking the
We
knowledge.
would
She
have-
wants knowledge of what you
We
are.
would have figured out exactly what we want, right? We
Yes.
just want to see if we're on the
Well,
same page.
Yes. So, see, first, you thought that this is a man who is also into me, and most likely we are going to go into a relationship. But you have seen some signs that suggest that it might not be the same. You're not on the same level.
That's it.
You are having some doubts. Your knowledge of what the state of affairs is changing. You are not sure. You want confirmation. So your next set of decisions. But mostly this comes in at a time that you think you have made some, or you're about to make some sacrifices, including
Yeah.
and because I think it's part of our part of the world, we consider
consider sex
sexual
as-
intercourse as a gift you give a man.
True.
So if you deserve
Which
that
is also
particular gift,
problematic.
yes, because
Because again,
because I have given you that gift, it elevates the stakes involved for me personally. So what are we is to say that whatever you think we are, we
are
should
changing.
only head in that one direction. It's not about you asking the question so that I'll tell you, oh, madam, we are just doing something for something. Nobody will accept that. I hope you get what I'm trying to say.
Some people
Also,
Okay,
also,
let me take another angle to
Yeah.
this. Okay, why is it so common for the woman to ask the man this question, and not the other way around? Why is the responsibility put on the man to define what
the
kind of relationship you're having?
because
the Kwasiabu part.
yes, because we have prioritized sex
Yes.
and positioned sex as something men do to women,
Yeah.
not something that two people enjoy together,
I give the woman give.
but something that a woman allows to be done to her. Okay, so before I allow you to do this to me, I want some sort of grounding. I want my feet to be on the solid ground.
Assurance.
Assurance.
Because people pay for it.
Exactly.
But you're not paying for it.
Some are willing
Please,
to
everybody
buy
pays
Bugatti for it.
Yes.
Some are willing to
Buy houses.
do a shop at East Legon for it.
You are not paying
so
for it.
you fine boy, no they pay.
Assurance.
We
You have to give assurance.
want to know okay, if I'm gonna give it up for free, what am I gonna give it up for?
Yeah.
Which is very problematic. Very, very, very,
Because
very
it's
no,
problematic.
but to be fair,
It's
is there any
legitimate.
woman who wants to say that I want to go around having sex with people without any strings
Yeah.
attached? Really?
If I'm having sex for pleasure, if it's a partner that I'm having sex with, I don't mind. I don't need to have sex.
Oh, I see. But
for any material.
see,
gain.
my thinking is that the woman does not want to feel I am cheap. I just gave it up anyhow.
Yeah, because
So
we
there
are
should be
tying
some-
your self-worth
There
to
should be
sex.
the mental state that tells me that we were somewhere before I gave it out.
Guys,
Yeah.
see, the what are we question? Very important question also because our society have socialized a lot of our younger women to grow up and marry. So once in a relationship with you, at a point in time, she wants the assurance. I mean, it's a fantastic point. I don't see anything wrong. What are we? Because you came in like Raymond, I want us to be this and that and that and that and that and that. Maybe sometimes
If he has already said that, then you won't ask the question.
no,
Exactly.
relax. You move into a relationship. You've said all the beautiful things to the woman. And I tell you one thing. Don't see. A lot of the men, when we were in the university, we used to say something that, hey, if you go and promise a woman something you cannot deliver and you meet a difficult woman, she'll make life terrible for you.
Yeah.
So you play it safe. You play it safe by staying away from making those promises. So it gets to the point where the woman wants, at least, we have been doing this for some time. What have we become?
Yes.
What are we? It's
And-
important
but,
she knows.
So again, the question is, why is the woman asking the man? Especially if it seems the woman knows, especially from what Mamavi and Esinam are saying.
But you know-
I have
the
just
woman
told you
already
they cannot-
knows.
I've just told
so
you
if
that-
you already know, why are you asking? Why don't you tell him?
I have
Tell
told
him
you-
what we are.
No.
Tell him what you're feeling. Like, even say it from your perspective.
I have just told you.
Esinam, think that I have gone past what we initially started with. And I don't think that I want to move ahead if we don't define this relationship. If it's not working for me, I will go.
Okay, so I think on that particular question, a lot of women will not want to define it themselves
Why not?
because you don't want to be disappointed in the response that you get from the man.
True.
Okay, so you're weighing it. You know what you're looking for. You've defined it. You want to ask if he's on the same page. If he's not, you make a decision. And
So
you
you,
walk.
man, you don't like disappointment.
You- Me, I don't like disappointment. I mean, I
Let me
don't.
Yeah, factor.
Let me just add this to
So if it's not working, if it's not what I'm thinking it is, then I can make a decision. And I
Great.
think it's a legitimate place to come from.
The what are we is actually the beginning of the conversation. Once you answer, the woman will then go ahead with what she thinks. In most of the cases, she would not tell you, because when she asks you the question, "What are we?" and you say, I mean, I think that we're partners. We're in a very serious thing which could lead to marriage. It triggers another, I mean, a conversation. If you say, "Oh, but we are friends," it triggers a conversation. If you say, "Oh, but you're my girlfriend," it will trigger a conversation. So it is the question used to trigger a conversation. And I say, it's not a bad question.
But you know that your parents could also even ask you. So you and this guy,
What are
you?
We are,
Because
we
he's
are a
been coming to
chosen
the house all the
generation.
time.
We are royal
We are right.
But the guy's been
All right,
coming to
listen.
the house.
We are studying each other.
Okay, now there's something you guys said earlier that I thought was important, because yesterday, in preparation for this, I talked to a few of our colleagues in the building. Now, somebody said something. She said, even if I go into it, I'm speaking as her, even if I go into a relationship just for fun, with no plans to have a long-term thing, and I ask a man, "What are we?" and he says, "Oh, we are just having fun," I will be offended. And this is her reason. She says that every woman is expected to be wife material, even if she's not pursuing it at that material moment. She expects to be seen as wife material. So if a man expresses a lack of desire to have her as wife material, she will find it offensive, even if that's not what she wants from him.
That's strange.
Okay, but I mean, I get the psychology of it. It's kind of like if even if you don't want to be with a woman, but the woman tells you that I don't think you are. I don't know, whatever a man ties his ego to, whether it's wealth or sexual prowess. Even if you don't like someone and the person says something negative about the thing that you attach your ego to, it will affect you.
An expansion of this will be the Judeo-Christian perception about sex, for example, is that it should happen within marriages. And that there should be some shame if it doesn't happen within marriage. So if we are about to do it or we already did it, I should have the consolation that I'm not abusing that value, basically, of the Judeo-Christian perception about sex. It could be that the people who are engaged in the act, they don't believe it. But because there is some cultural approach to it, which suggests that before it can be given to you, it should be priceless, and it should be something that you are leading into some other engagement. So that's the point. The point of feeling very bad is that when after doing it, and what are we ends up being with? Oh well, I mean, I think we are just having fun. You have debased not only the act itself, but the person who believes she's at the receiving end of the act and feels used, and that you have actually taken away what she held dear within the Judeo-Christian perception. And I'm saying some people don't care about it.
Exactly.
But it is also, to some people, so basic that their entire being is dependent on it.
And so that is why.
Imagine having to go for confession. and you are going to the confession based on the fact that you did with somebody who felt it was nothing. I hope you get my point. So that one really will affect the thinking of the person involved here. The person will not only feel used, the person will feel that, oh, so that's what you think of me. I am not qualified to be elevated to the kind of people, but it might not be about the person at all.
But that is extremely selfish. It's really, 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 really selfish on our part.
Yeah.
On the part of the partner that does that, because then you are emotionally manipulating the person into being or doing something that they ordinarily wouldn't have.
Yeah.
You see, as a woman,
because you could have the man might have also emotionally or done other things to manipulate it to get to the thing.
Exactly.
Yes. So the original
Listen,
words
guys,
are there.
let's bring in our audience.
Yeah.
Let's open the phone lines. Okay, I think it will be interesting if we open this up. All right. So listen, call us 0302 216 541 055 111 What are your thoughts on that question? What are we? Is it a wise question to ask, or is it a dangerous door to open? Also, we want to know if you have ever asked or had to answer that question. How did you go about it? All right. And are you a man or a woman? Tell us whether you think it is one gender's responsibility to define the relationship. I want your thoughts on this question. What are we? What are we? Is it a question that makes men lie? Or should a man have that answer ready anytime they are asked? 0302 216 541 055 111 997. Baby, what are we? Goodness. All right. So the other part of this is how a woman feels before she asks the question. Are there some nerves at play?
But you sort of do a day she's small. Whatever can be, I'm ready for it.
Oh, can.
But you yourself, you're not ready for it.
Right. I think we have someone on the line. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Kojo and the crew.
Hi, who do we have? Who am I speaking to?
My name is Ficho. I'm calling from Tema, a victim of what are we now so many times.
Oh, wow. Tell us.
Yes, but I think it's mostly the entitlement of some people that makes them think they could ask that question. Because like Esinam said, you either should see the signs or be clear in your mind before you go in for such an adventure. If that is the ultimate prize for you, like we said, some people, some women consider sex as an ultimate gift to a man. So if you consider sex as an ultimate gift to a man, then you should be clear in your mind before going on such an adventure.
So how did you answer when the question came up for you?
Koyo?
Yes, sir.
It's more or less like the question that we should ask is, normally, whenever a guy is going out to the lady, we also look for potential. We also look for the fact that is this lady the type of lady I want to go out with? So when the question comes, maybe that time you are not ready for the question, and at the same time, the lady question is not the one that you want, but you are studying her to see if she'll be the one that you want. So when that question comes, you are more or less like, I don't know how to answer it for now. Let's take our time. Let's go a little bit further. Then we will know whether yes, we are in a relationship leading to marriage, or we are in a relationship leading to for it to cash at the end of the day. So to me, I wait till I see that yes, you are that lady before I say.
So that's how you answer when they ask you, eh?
Yes, that's how I answer mostly.
Wow, Samuel, you're a brave man. Thank you. That's Samuel from Kumasi who gave that answer over there. You can call us 0302 216 541 055 111 997. What are we? Wise question or a dangerous precedent? And how have you answered that question in the past? I'm keen to know that as well. Is this Emma or Ima?
Yeah, Ima.
Ima, good morning. Talk to us.
Kojo, please, I want to find out this subject matter. Is it relationship between new found whether the male and female or someone dating a married man or a married woman.
Oh, but this this one there. If you are dating a married man or a married woman, how can you be asking what are we?
Okay, that's my question.
Okay. Oh, okay. He called with a question. All right. Na is in Dansuman. Hi, Na. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
Thanks for calling, Na. What are your thoughts on this question?
I've been on both sides of the coin.
Oh,
I have been asked. Yes, I've been asked what are we, and I've also asked someone else what are we.
Mm-hmm.
That question usually pops up when one person has this unserious kind of attitude towards a relationship.
Right.
Because I feel if you know what you're about and you know what you're into, you usually don't ask that question. You know where the relationship is heading towards on both sides. But then when you realize one person is not too serious about it, then you would have to ask that question so you wouldn't waste your time. And yes, I think that's what brings up that question. And it's actually a very good thing to do, the wise question to ask, I think. Because when you ask that question, so many things start popping up. That's when you realize, Charlie, you're not alone in this relationship. It's either the main chick or the side chick, depending on the answer you are given.
Wow.
Okay, so that's a very wise question to ask, especially when you realize the other person is not too serious, as serious as you are. But then when you realize you are both on the same page, that question is really not important because you know where you're heading towards.
So how did you answer when you were asked?
I told the person to give me some time. I'm observing. But then, at that point, the person wasn't the only one. I was still observing other people. So they were all under observation.
Interesting. The observation phase. All right, let's talk to Maxi in Tema. Hi, Maxi. Good morning.
Hi, Kojo. Good morning.
Thanks for calling.
Okay, so I hear Mamavi, I think I want to back what Mamavi is saying, but would want to add my own twist to it. You know that there are married people nowadays. Married people nowadays, even with this question being answered or being asked.
In a marriage?
In a marriage, yes. I know this friend of mine. She's been married for the past almost 13, 14 years. The husband lives somewhere. She lives somewhere. And she constantly asks this question, says, Seattle, what are we? And you'll be surprised. She's not the only one. I think you should just listen to maybe more of married women or married men who think they're married, but I say, what are we?
Hey,
you'll be shocked.
What are the possible answers to that question?
That is the problem. Because at the end of the day, you don't
question.
even know whether it's from the man's point of view or from the woman's point of view. But most men nowadays think that, okay, just the fact that they think they have children with this woman, they can just live anywhere and so, call themselves being married. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Not to me, but I think I understand that you are saying the question is even being asked in marriages.
In marriages, yes.
Interesting. Well, we'll take your word for it. Thank you for that, Maxi. Let's take one more call. Let's go to Kumasi. Abraham is listening via Love FM this morning. Abraham, good morning.
Good morning. I think that last two ladies have really hit the nail right. The first one is when one is not feeling serious, or when one is not serious in a relationship. My wife used to ask when before we got married, because I was like, the truth is I was not without cash and wanted to go to school at the same time. I wanted to marry because age is catching up. So sometimes within 9 months we married, although from 1 month to 9 months, she continued to ask those questions. What are we? What are we? Sometimes you don't know the answer to give. But then you are interested in a marriage. And even in a marriage, when you are not serious or you take a decision, sometimes in her absence, a very major decision which will affect the relationship, then the question will come. But I know that what I want to say is sometimes it is because the women ask frequently because in Ghana or in our culture we determine the relationship. The male, the men take a decision, major decision in the relationship. So I think I have not done the statistics, but I know women frequently ask those questions.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much to all of you who called. I got a text message. It says, Kojo, don't you think the woman may be weighing other options? You won't define it. You are not serious about stuff. I can't see top. Others are knocking hard and trying to put a ring on it, but you, my preferred, are not giving any assurances, blah, blah, blah. It's a legitimate question, though, or else some men will be wasting some ladies' time. It's also the Konongo Kaya thing. You won't carry, and you won't allow others to carry. Interesting perspective there. Wow. Okay, listen, let's sum our thoughts up really quickly. We've got just about 3 minutes to go, so a minute each. Yeah, yes. Okay, starting with you, Esinam.
Okay, so I think that I'm not saying that conversation shouldn't happen. I'm saying that conversation should happen. The definition of the relationship conversation should happen, and it should happen at the right time. And also in asking about the definitions, be explicit and say what you want and say what you are looking for. If you cannot get it, be honorable and step aside. Really, anybody can ask that question. Anybody can ask the question of what's going on between us, but we need to be more deliberate about saying what we want and being emphatic about it.
Thought-provoking. Ray.
Yes, I agree with you perfectly. In fact, I actually think that when you have to be pressing that question consistently, there's something wrong somewhere. Really, if really the person that people are interested, that question may not come up. There's a smooth sailing that ends up in a very nice zoo. So if you have to be asking the question and seeking to establish clearly, that's a problem.
Ray. Sorry, Church.
There's no problem. I mean, I think that if you're in a relationship and you don't see things clearly, you can always find out what you are. Because, sometimes men could come forward and say, well, this is what I want us to do. But in the course of the relationship, you realize that he's missing the point. So it's always important to have that conversation. I see that question as a trigger. It sets the tone for the most important conversations in a relationship.
Interesting. Thank you. I suppose it really matters when you ask it as well. What point during the relationship you ask the question. You can't forget that. Okay, well, thanks to all of you for making our conversation quite sparkling and engaging. There's more to come on the Super Morning Show. When we come back, stay